Gabriel, thank you so much for joining us today, this lovely morning. Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for having me.
How's Canada doing at the moment? You're wearing a jumper. It tells me it's cold.
Yeah, right now it's winter here. It's in the morning right now, and I'm having my morning cup of coffee.
Fantastic. Yeah, we're just, of course, surviving best we can with these erratic rains. But thank you so much for coming. Congratulations on writing a book, Run Elvin. We can't wait to have a good look at it. Not yet out. Please do tell me why Run Elvin. I know that the book is a bit about your life itself. So can we get into it a little bit?
Yes, thank you so much. So the book's title indeed is Run Elvin. At first, I intended to give it a different title, which was The Rising of the Rejected Stone, like a biblical title to it. And I had also intended that to be basically a subtitle. But then later on, I decided to call it Run Elvin. I watched a certain poem by one of the Black American, poet. It's called Run, Black Boy, Run. So the poem talks about racial issues in the USA, and I'm in Canada here as a Black man, and I've had my own share of the entire game. So I called it Run Elvin because partly it has to do with my experiences growing up as a young Black boy, but also as a young Black African. Here in Canada, I have those kinds of experiences that I talk about them in the first chapter. But I also called it Run Elvin because I've been running all my life as a refugee, basically trying to survive and trying to find a place that I can call home.
Wow. Do you think you have now found home, or do you still long for Rwanda?
Malawi is home. Rwanda is not home. I've never been to Rwanda, so I would never know anything about Rwanda. I still have family in Rwanda, but Malawi has been home because my entire family is in Malawi. My son, Elvin, lives in Malawi with his mother and his stepsister and his stepfather. So I come to Malawi, to visit sometimes. I've been there once in my 5 years in Canada. In 2019, I was there. Malawi is my first home, I believe. And then Canada is my second home because this is where I'm based right now. And I'm here to stay. But all my businesses basically will be conducted in Malawi.
Yeah, that makes me look at the issue of maybe you could give us a bit of a background on your connection to Rwanda, then to say that you're a refugee, because now you have claimed Malawi as your home. How does that work?
Yeah, I think it fits into the equation pretty well. So when we left Rwanda, we were basically, we went to seek refugee protection in Tanzania. But
so you were born at the time, or was this just your family?
I was born in 1994, that just 2 months before the Rwandan genocide. And so when the genocide started, basically my family fled the country. And then we went to seek protection in Tanzania. In Tanzania, things were not good. We were kicked out. There was a forced repatriation. My grandfather and family and other refugees were basically taken back to Rwanda. Lived there for a little while, and then, we were forced again to get out of the country, and then that's when we came to Malawi for more protection. And so I've been in a refugee camp for a while, for 13 years, since 2003 up to 2016.
For 30 years?
13
years.
Yeah, but my family has been there now almost close to 17 years now. So others.
And your son's name is obviously Elvin?
Yes, Elvin Gabriel Jr.
Do you feel like he's still on the run, or?
I think he's still on the run because right now he lives as a refugee.
Yes, seeing as you were or are even in the country that you're living in, but you claim Malawi as your home and your son is here in Malawi as well. But sometimes I know that in your blood, sometimes in your system, from heritage, from the issues and the place that you come from, you may feel like you're still carrying the burden of those that came before you. Do you feel like he may have to carry that, or he has settled into Malawi 100% as you have as well?
Actually, that was one of the things that really prompted me or encouraged me to write the book. Home is not a country to me. There is a poet book that I read by one of the authors in the USA, and she says that home is not a country, and I happen to agree with her. My son lives in Malawi. It's home for him because he has got all the protection he needs, just apart from the status of being a refugee. I think right now that he's still very young, he lives in Lilongwe, by the way. He attends nursery school in Lilongwe. And I think that is just going to get complicated as he grows up. And that is my worry, that what if anything happens to me right now, or a sudden death happens to me, then I'm going to lose that protection. I'll not be able to protect him against the forces that he might face. But probably, perhaps, let me not be very negative here, because maybe the laws in Malawi will have changed by then, basically to start recognizing the contributions of refugees to the country, and then my son will be safe at the time. So the entire reason why I wrote the book was basically to walk the young boy basically into the life that I lived. If it so happened that I'm not here by the time he's born, by the time he grows up, he can basically know how to walk about or how to move around in the country or anywhere he might want to build his own home.
All right. Now, about the book itself, what else is it that you want people to get out of it? Because as much as you want this to be something of legacy for your son, there's also an issue of the rest of us that will get to read the book. What is your hope for the reader?
Well, the book is written for my son, but not entirely my son. I wrote the book basically for everyone interested in stories to do with immigrant experiences, refugee stories, stories about fatherlessness. People, I know we have got so many kids who have grown up to be fatherless, and kids who really don't have any other parents. So I basically wrote the book to comfort them, to encourage them basically to strive. And I also wrote the book to inspire young African minds, who are very serious with their studies, just to tell them that, well, if you keep pushing a little bit and if you keep connecting, light might show up somewhere. Just don't give up yet.
When do we expect this book to be out? I know that it's ready to go. When do you release it?
So right now it's published on Amazon. I'm still waiting for the book to be shipped in Malawi. I'm hoping basically to donate 1,000 copies to different secondary schools in Malawi just for free, basically to get the young ones excited and get touch of the book. I'm also planning to donate the book to my former secondary school. So I attended school in Malawi, as I said. I went to Ruchenza primary school. I went to Chigumura Market primary school. I went to a primary school in Kasungu, and I went to a primary school in Doha. So I'm hoping the 1,000 copies that I'm going to donate will specifically go to, first of all, those primary schools, and then I will be distributed countrywide.
Gabriel, I thank you so much for writing and opening up, because obviously it's not easy to write. And as the forward there, it says, just when you thought it was safe. It tells me that the book will have a lot of suspension, a lot of real life thriller, and a lot of heart-wrenching moments. I personally can't wait to read it, and it's best for us to head off to Amazon to check it out, Run Elvin. And we can find you on Facebook as well, yes?
Yes, my username is Gabriel Ndayishimiye. I'm also on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram, but on Instagram I use my company's name, Live Books.
I thank you so much. Before we wrap up, any last words?
Well, I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity to interview. This is my second interview on television in Malawi. I hope things will just get better and better as we move forward. Thank you so much, Ruth.
Of course, can't wait to have you here when we have the hard copies and your donations.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hey, so I'm going to have a chance to edit it. I think we should try and have a longer interview.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
We should plan for that. Let's plan the kind of conversation we can have, the direction we should take. I just feels like you have so much to give.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it would be good. We can do a 25-minute interview. I'll shoot it like a special program. And those ones don't really have a time slot. They come on as many times as they can have them on. And yeah, that should work.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to build my business in Malawi. It's a publishing house that, which basically I'm hoping to be publishing books by young Malawians, young refugees. It's called Live Books. And so I'll basically...
Wait, let's do that bit. So tell me a bit about the business that you're talking about here in Malawi. What are you up to?
So I'm trying to build my publishing company, which basically will be publishing stories to do with immigration, stories to do with refugee stories, but also experiences of young people in Malawi who are involved in book writing, in short stories, poems, and music as well. And so I'm hoping to register the organization as a not-for-profit organization in Malawi. It's already recognized as a not-for-profit here in Canada. And so, yeah, I look forward to sharing what the entire organization will be about in the near future.
Fantastic.